Hi, this is Phil Hinton. Welcome to another video here on AVForums.tv. Today we're at Sony BMG and we're here to see the new 3D projector as well as the HW20ES XRD projector. And also here are a handful of forum members who are going to give us their thoughts on what they think about the new Sony products.
Well, I guess I'm not absolutely convinced that 3D for everything is going to work, but I've been to the cinema and seen 3D action movies like Avatar, and I think that's what I'm looking for in my cinema room.
3D technology, although it's in its infancy at the moment, you know, it's interesting to see how it's developing. I know Sony pioneered, you know, really the invention of 3D cameras in terms of using them in the field for shooting sports and stuff like that. So, you know, I would guess that they should be the market leader in this type of technology.
I already have a 3D TV. I'm looking to get a projector within the next few years, and it's the first generation. It's always good to at least have an idea of what's going on straight away, and to look forward to whatever they bring out next.
Well, I've got a projector myself, a JVC, and I just want to see what Sony has to offer. If it's time for me to treat myself for Christmas or for my birthday next year to some, you know, to a more expensive gadget.
So with high expectations of the technology, forum members were treated to a full-on 3D demonstration with the VW90 projector and a range of content from sports to feature films and gaming. So why did Sony feel the need to stage the AVForums event and invite members along to their offices in central London?
Well, I think we realise the importance of the forums, to be honest with you, and as a company I'm a great believer also in trying to engage more with the end user. You know, you guys are real enthusiasts. You're buying the product, you're dealing with lots of other competitors' products, and being able to interact with you and chat to you at an informal level like this is wonderful. We can learn so much from you, and it also gives us obviously a chance to show off a couple of new products to you and get your feedback, and also understand what you think our strengths and weaknesses are and how we can work together to promote the whole industry, really.
So have any forum members given you any sort of real feedback that's likely to maybe change or enhance a product in the future?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we pick up on, whether it's a kind of a casual comment or a serious discussion, which we've had tonight, some really interesting things. And we take a lot on board, and we're trying very much to listen to the consumer, and you are the consumer, you're the most important people to us. I think that the reaction tonight's been great. I mean, I've been really, really pleased with the reaction, particularly to the 3D video projector, and we've been able to watch films together, some different music content, games, and a whole raft of other things as well.
Now, let's talk about the 3D projector. It's obviously the reason why we're here. It's a new technology. It's still in its infancy in the marketplace. Still a lack of content there, but why has Sony gone now with a 3D projector and at the level that they've gone, which is, you know, your higher consumer?
Well, I think it's two things really. First of all, now is the right time, we believe, because of all the 3D content that's being prepared. The fact that, you know, you can now get broadcast 3D content, music videos are available in 3D, films, the amount of effort that the film studios have put into box office releases of 3D, and of course the massive success of some of the larger blockbusters in 3D has created a kind of a whole atmosphere where people are talking about 3D constantly. So we think it's the right time to start to bring products to marketplace. I mean, if you take the video projector, for example, like our Bravia televisions, there is a 2D, 3D conversion process available as well. So you can, with film content, enjoy 3D experience. But when you look at some of the titles that are now being released, I mean, we're at the seasonal time of the year of Christmas. You know, Disney's just launched A Christmas Carol, and it looks tremendous in 3D. And that's been the reaction we've had tonight as well.
The projector itself, the picture quality from watching 2D stuff and the 3D stuff is really great. I'm pretty impressed. Apart from with the glasses on, the picture is a bit darker. I think that's something I've read on the forums as well. There is normally a darker, the brightness is gone. and I think that's due to the filters on the glasses. But it is excellent, really, really great.
The projector was still losing a bit of brightness. I would like, for my taste, I prefer a bit brighter. So the 3D projector is still losing a bit of brightness.
I'll be honest, the degree of loss of brightness for me is unacceptable in terms of I wouldn't be happy with that amount of loss in brightness. Whilst the 3D element was really good, I miss the brightness of having a good bright picture.
Well, it's a fact of life that there is a light reduction in terms of the wearing of glasses to experience 3D projection. But I think coupled with that is the acceptance that with any video projector system, you do need to enjoy it in a very dark room to get the most from it. When you're trying to create an image that's significantly bigger than an LCD panel, there's always going to be a light requirement, shall we say, to cater for, whether it be to compensate for light intrusion in the room or the right gain screen and so on. We've, for instance, with the glasses, we offer you the option to actually allow the shutters to remain open longer to increase the time that they're displaying the image to you. So that helps with brightness. We've increased the brightness capability of the 90 over the previous model, and you can have different settings to go some way to compensate for any brightness issues you may have, or to be honest with you, any picture adjustments that you want to make, such that when you play 3D content through the projector, it will automatically engage those parameters. When you then play 2D, it will revert to others that you've choose to set for it.
I was quite impressed. I was impressed with certainly the native 3D. I mean, things like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I thought the glasses did, with the shutter technology, did a very good job. I mean, the only thing I can really compare it to from the clips that I've seen was A Nightmare Before Christmas, which I have seen in real 3D, which is, obviously at the cinema, and I thought it handled it, slightly better than what I saw a couple of years ago in the cinema. But it's horses for courses, isn't it? And the gaming was pretty good.
Compared to the first generation of 3D TVs, it's comparatively much better. It's still the first generation of 3D projectors, at least from Sony. They are going to get a lot better, but they're actually doing very, very well. Again, something to keep in mind is that a lot of it depends on the source material. There's also, with the projector, there seems to be a lot more into what the room is set up like, materials and so on, the screen. But overall, it's pretty good. It's a good sign.
Let's talk about the 2D side of that projector. The 85 last year, absolute stonking machine. We give it. It was a badge winner with us. What advances have you made on the 2D side with the 90?
Okay, well, first of all, thanks very much for the badge, because any award and from people that are, end users particularly, it means a lot to us. I'm serious about that, so thanks a lot for that. What we've done is, as I said, we've improved the brightness output. We've refined the software, so there are different parameters available on the new model. We've also, for instance, increased the contrast ratio. So with the new Iris system, you can get up to around 150,000 to 1. Now, in addition, the actual imager panel's been changed. So the spacing between the elements is now reduced as well. So the overall quality improvement in terms of the kind of perception of high resolution with a film-like quality is increased. The 85 was a great model. We're proud of that, and I think the 90 takes it a step further, both in 2D and obviously offering 3D as well.
I hope you don't mind this question. It's a question we get asked an awful lot. You use a variant of Leica's technology for your SXRD panels. There's another variant out there which is DILA. Yeah. That doesn't use an Iris system, yet Sony use an Iris system with SXRD. What's the reason behind that?
Well, I think the reason behind it is to offer customer choice. To some people, the absolute contrast ratio is very, very important. We've done some degree of careful market research about this. When I say some degree, I mean we've that's probably an underestimation. We've done a lot of market research and listening to people's requirements, and we've tried to offer the best of both. So you can enjoy the auto iris, you can actually, in fact, manually control it, and you can turn it off. The thing is, you have the choice. And that's what we'd like to try to do, to give people the best possible range of parameters, because rooms are different. It's not just a question of, in some cases, blacking out all your light. You know, the kind of ambient reflection due to furniture or the loudspeaker cabinet itself that's near the screen can make a big difference. So I'd really summarise it by saying it's really our way of trying to offer you the best choice.
Now, the HW20, that's your budget entry level into the world of projection. The 10 and the 15 before it were really good models. So what's the idea behind the budget model? What kind of consumer are you aiming that projector at?
Good question. Now, the HW20 is really targeted, I would say, at the beginner. It's kind of for the person that wants to go beyond a flat panel, wants to go beyond a flat panel in terms of size and do it in a very cost-effective way. It isn't 3D. For that, we've got the 90. But if you want a large screen experience and, if you like, relive what it's like to be in a real movie theatre, the HW20 is a good way to start.
And let's wrap it up on the whole 3D thing here. Is 3D here to stay, Eric?
Well, I believe it is. I think proof of that has got to be when you see the enjoyment on people's faces when they've enjoyed that kind of good movie experience. And that's what I wish for everybody in the forums, and a Merry Christmas.